guys, so this is the second concept in fractions that we're going to review. We're reviewing multiplying fractions. And what I want you to remember about that, we need to remember that it does not follow the rules. You do not need to convert these. All we're doing is multiplying across. So there's no need to convert a multiplication problem into a common denominator. You will be using multiplying of fractions if in your word problem it says that you're looking for part of a part or part of a whole. So let's do a part of a whole first. I'm going to give you an example of that, and we'll do 1/3 times 9. Remember that I told you you can envision the multiplication symbol as the word of. So we're looking for 1/3 of 9. If I draw a model here and I label it 9, that the whole model equals 9, all I have to do is split it into thirds. And I know that 9 divided by 3 is 3 in each one. And I'm only looking for one of those. So the answer is 3. Now let's look for part of a part. If we're looking for part of a part, let's say we're going to do 1/2 of 1/4. And again, I can draw a model. I'm going to draw it kind of big because I know I have to split several different parts. The first thing I'm going to do is split it into fourths because I'm looking for half of a fourth. And I'm going to make my model a little bit smaller. There we go, so that they're closer to even. All right, so this part, this 1/4, I'm going to lightly shade that because this is 1/4. And then I want to show a half. So I turn my paper, and this time I'm splitting it in half going this way. And I'm looking for, what I'm going to do is do like a longer slash there so that you can kind of see where I've slashed. And you see that the overlap is this one right here. And that is no longer 1/4 or 1/2. It's 1 out of 8. So your answer is 1/8. Okay. Now I'm going to go over the algorithm for this. And the algorithm for multiplying fractions is very easy. Remember, you don't have to convert anything. You don't have to make them common denominators. All you have to do is multiply across. All right, so if I have 3/4 of 9/10, I would multiply 3 times 9, which is 27. And then I'd multiply 4 times 10, which is 40. Now, I know, remember the question that you have to ask yourself is it proper and is it simplified? So first of all, it is proper because it's smaller, 27 is smaller than 40. So that's correct. Now, is it in simplest form? So I have to ask myself, what are the factors of 27? Well, I know 1, right? 1 is a factor of everything. But if I divide both of these by 1, it's not going to change anything. I also know that 3 times 9 are factors of 27. But 3 and 9 are not factors of 40. So that's not going to get me anywhere. How about 27 itself? No, that's not a factor of 40. So in fact, this one is in simplest form. So that would be my final answer. How about this one? 1/7 times 3/6. 1/7 of 3/6. Well, I multiply across and I get 3. 7 times 6 is 42. And then I ask myself that same question. Is it proper and is it simplified? All right, well, it certainly is proper because 3 is less than 42. So now I think about the factors of 3. Well, I know 1 is a factor. Even if I do that, it's not going to help me any. It's going to remain the same. Well, what about 3? Now I'm looking at 3 and I'm thinking, I don't know if that's a factor of 42 or not. Well, a quick way to check is to say 42 divided by 3. And then think about what you do know. You know that 3 times 10 is 30. So you can split this 42 into 30 and then you'd have 12 left over. Well, is 3 a factor of 12? Yes, indeedy it is. So 3 goes into 30 10 times, and 3 goes into 12 4 times, so 14. So 3 times 14 is 42. So I can simplify this fraction. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 14 divided by 3 is, 42 divided by 3 is 14. So this is my final answer. Remember, I told you to always circle your final answers. So let's do one more. Let's do this one. Let's have 4 times 1/4. Now, this one, you guys were a little tripped up over this during school. So I want to remind you that whenever you see a whole number, you always imagine that it's over 1. It's 4 wholes. 4, and it's only one piece. So 4 wholes times 1/4. Now, I just multiply across. 4 times 1 is 4, and 1 times 4 is 4. So the answer is 4/4, or 1. So 1/4 of 4 is 1. And if we did a model, we would see that. Because we'd say, okay, well, the total is 4, and I want to find out what 1/4 of it is. Well, 4 divided by 4 is 1 in each one. So 1/4 is 1. That is my answer. And you have some practice activities today, and then you will have a quiz at the end of this week.